Just thought I'd do a quick video to show you what we're up to at the moment. Not a great deal has gone on up at the farm. Those 6 colonies are still as they are. They are alive. They've come through the winter and they're into the start of spring. It's a little bit cooler now. I've only just got here about 20 minutes or so maybe. By the time I've got myself up here into the field. But there's not a lot flying. There are a few little stragglers coming back, but the weather's started to change a little bit, especially over there. And it seems to come from there, as do the bees, and they seem to know that. So these 6 colonies pretty much stayed the same. We've brought 2 up here, but they're empty at the moment. They are commercial beehives, as are those 2 there that we've also brought up from elsewhere. So these are empty and I'm just getting them ready for the spring, so when I make splits I can put them into these colonies, into these hives. These 2 here I've turned around. They were that way, I've turned them this way, so they're now going to be facing, when they wake up in the morning, they're going to be facing the early morning sun. Dead one there, either dropped out or kicked out. These 4 here, I'm thinking that I may just turn around and also face the opposite direction. That's going to put them into the sun, or their entrance into the sun. It didn't really seem to have much of an effect on the flying, but I do know it would help them a little bit if they were facing the sun. So we're going to have 8 on this side, and there's 8 on this side as well. I've left them as they are. There's no frames in here at the moment. They're just empty boxes, but I'll take the super off. I just left it there so I knew that it is a complete hive for the time being. I've got frames, new frames, clean wax foundation on order, so I'll get those made up. They'll go in there, and I'll take, we've also got 6 national hives, which are the same as these ones, to come up here as well. They're new, and 6 of them, or all 6 of the ones that do come up, will replace the little small nucleus colonies. So the 6 frames that are in here will go into a national brood box with 2 frames either side, 2 new frames either side. They'll grow out sideways and then they'll grow up. And then these little small nucleus colonies, or the empty boxes, the 6 frames of the new hives that come up will go into here, and those nucleus colonies will go back down to our breeding apiary, mating apiary, and it's just a farmer's caught my eye, and they will then start the cycle again for next year. So we'll have nucleus changed into a national hive, and then we'll have 2 nationals together, and then this side we'll have 2 commercial hives, and I may swap these ones over and have commercial on this side. Just looked at that, I thought it was a wasp, but it's not. It's a little tired honeybee. So the farmer's just coming over. I'll go and see him in a minute, catch up with him. But first, because I've just got here, I'll make myself a nice cup of coffee and my little camping stuff. And then I'm going to spend a couple of hours just painting those 2 hives, another coat on these ones, and then just touching them up. What I've done as well is, wind's picking up as well, I've taken the bramble out of the ground here and I've cleaned the ground out, so there's nothing in there really that I don't want to be in there, other than my paintbrush wrapped in a plastic bag. And I've done the same here as well, cleaned that bramble up on the back there, slowly starting just to build up a little bit of a base for that hedge. Hopefully the bramble is going to come through it. The farmer's fence here was taken down so he can get his digger in to take up the soil for that trench. He's also had a digger over here. You can see the tracks, and he's also, before those pallets were put there, had a digger coming up and around here. And I'm very pleased and I'm very grateful, and I love the guy a lot because he hasn't asked me to move these hives. Everything they've done here in these trenches, they've worked around all of the hives, the pallets, everything. Nothing's been disturbed, and I'm really pleased with that. And this one as well, it's all been dug out. This limb here, which was part of that tree, came right down over here because the back of it, the root's been disturbed. Just caught me selling bramble. The root's been disturbed a lot on this side, so it was leaning and I didn't want it to fall over, so I've cut that off. And I asked the farmer, can I chop that down? Fill your boots, do whatever you want. Which was nice, because I can just come up here, I can crack on and do what I need to do, come and go as I please. And I value that. It's really important that I can do that. But I don't want anybody crying over that tree. We're going to be planting 50 trees this year. Making a bit of a... We're making use of everything, really. But all of this bank is still yet to be seeded. All up and around both sides. And we're doing that ourselves. We're paying it back. So this year is also going to be seeded all up in there, all around here. And then all down and around, all the way down through there. Nice wildflowers going in there. And that there, that pile of everything that was taken out, the majority of it, or pretty much most of it, all of it really, is kind of dead wood. That I'm going to try and salvage and clean up a little bit and maybe put along here just to make a bit of a wall or a fence of sorts. The brambles that have been removed from here and have been thinned out, they're also going to be stuck back in the ground over there, so nothing's being wasted. Everything's going back into the ground. So that's it really. That's kind of where we are up to. So we've got this apiary. We have got feelers out and we're waiting for calls to come back from farmers 2 radiuses away, if you like, sort of 4 or 5 mile away, kilometres. We're waiting for them to say yea or nay to having hives as well. So we're hoping to get across Dartmoor with a line of wildflowers, feed the hedgerows, put some flowers, seed into the hedgerows, and then even the margins of the farmers' fields, and go right across up towards Tavistock. All being well, anyway. But that might be a far way from coming down. So that's the plan. We also got the mating apiary, which I need to do a little bit of work in, and also our allotment apiary, which does need a bit of work doing to that too. The colonies are fine, nothing wrong with the bees. From what we can see, from what we can work out, and how we do things. But that's it for now. Thank you very much. I did move them in the end, so I've got the national and the nuke from the corner there, and then over here I've got the 4 commercials that I've painted up. Nothing in them at the moment, no frames, no bees, they're just there, so I know that they're there and they're ready. And then those 2 nukes I'll change for nationals.